What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you want to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Me trying to explain elementals would be like you or I explaining how to breathe through words alone. I could go over logical facts and stuff, but I couldn't impart the real essence. I was reminded of the way Hinata and her paladins fought, a fusion of sorts between spirit magic and swordsmanship. It was a unique approach, and mastering it must require a deep understanding of spirits. If they could impart that to our kids here.
And, you know, when I think about spirits, I think of the paladins. Should we ask Hinata?
I was thinking the same thing, but Hinata can be kinda scary, you know?
Well, true.
She'd never allow the kids to take advantage of her, that's for damn sure. But I'm worried she'll be a little too harsh on them.
That's hard to deny, yes.
Yuki and I looked at each other and sighed. But we'd need to save this discussion for later. I could already see the children running back to us, luggage in tow. It was festival season, no point in pondering these thorny issues when there's so much fun to be had. For now, I could ask Hakuro about instructor work and worry about other matters later. It was procrastinating, I know, but we'd figure something out. So, following the same thought process I usually turn to for issues like these, I mentally switched gears and quit my worrying. Leaving the main gate into Englesia, I set up a transport gate in a secluded location. This wasn't magic, technically, so I could deploy one without any magic circle required. Yuki looked at me rather coldly about that, but the kids were used to it.
Mr. Tempest, if it's that easy for you to use these gates, then come visit us more often.
It was Kenya complaining, and he was absolutely right. I apologized profusely to him. With all the stuff that had happened, it had been hard to find free time and I couldn't really guarantee anyone's safety, but no point telling him about that. It'd just make the kid all anxious. So, while dancing around the subject a little, I promised to go back to see them more often. On the other side of the gate, I took Yuki and the kids straight over to my favorite lodging in town, a private area, separate from the 4-star nobles' accommodations and reserved for our top officials. Yuki went off to his room, and as he did, I turned toward the children.
I'm sorry, guys, but I still have some work left. You'll have to wait until tonight to see me, okay?
None of them was too excited to hear this.
Quiet.
I took a pendant out from my pocket, silencing them.
I thought we could use this to play a game, but...
That lifted their spirits. They were eager to hear more, and once I was sure they were, I began to explain.
You see this pendant here? It's kind of a free pass ticket to all the booths and stuff in the festival, starting tomorrow. Carry this around, and you can eat and drink all you want in the stalls, and you're free to come and go through any of the event halls you like. But just remember, there's an upper limit of 100 silver coins, use that up, and it's game over. You'll have to go back to your rooms then, and I'll give you homework as punishment. But if you've been doing your work up to now, I'm sure you'll be smart enough to stretch this out for 3 days. Sound like fun to you?
I knew from the start that I couldn't watch these kids all day, so I thought up this tactic for them. That's what you normally did with kids at a fair, right? Give them an allowance and let them run free. I felt bad about not taking them around, but I figured the kids would have more fun alone anyway. And with Soei's agents deployed across town, they'd have no trouble keeping tabs on them. This way, at least, I could let them loose on the festival without major concern. And, really, 100 silvers was a crazy generous budget. Most of the stalls and attractions didn't even charge you 1 silver. You'd have to make a concerted effort to spend that much in 3 days. I called it a game, but really it was just a premise I'd invented to set them on their way.
Let's do it.
I bet there's all this rare stuff to see. Can't wait, huh, Ken?
Yeah, I can't.
Thank you, Mr. Tempest.
I'll buy something for you, Mr. Tempest.
They were up for it, all bursting with anticipation. I gave them the pendant, returning each of their excited nods. It's always fun, I think, that anticipation before a big event. I also thought about telling them Ramirez was in town but decided against it. I planned to introduce them after the fest anyway, so no need to hurry things. Besides, all the kids, Kenya and Alice in particular, were already busy planning out the next 3 days of fun. The servants at our lodging would take care of the rest of their needs, I figured.
Okay, guys, if you need anything, just ask the hostess in charge here, alright? And I doubt you'll need to, but if you have to contact me about something, just hold that pendant tight and think hard about me. It'll trigger a messaging magic.
Okay.
They all shouted back. Good to see them so eager. And with that, figuring I would be in their way beyond this point, I left their room. Now I had wrapped up all the necessities. I had a little time before the pre-opening, so I thought I would take a quick break in my room before it began. But the world had other plans for me.
Sir Rimuru, the hero Masayuki's party has arrived outside of town.
Soe quietly appeared to whisper the news into my ear. A hero, huh? What kinda dude could this be? I thought over the possibilities as I came by to greet him. As I did, I could see several elves getting jostled around on a large wagon. I had heard they were freed from that Orthrus ring, and I guess the news was true. It was a pretty fancy wagon, too. They must have been treated well post-rescue. On another, smaller covered wagon was a boy with blonde hair, sitting in the cabman's seat with another man holding the reins. Was that Masayuki the hero? He looked Japanese to me, but with the rounded lines to his face, there might have been something in his blood from elsewhere. That sort of pop idol look, you know? Silky blonde hair, almond-like eyes with double-fold eyelids. His face was childish, but he just projected this aura of coolness. The girls must have loved him, but frankly, he didn't look very powerful to me. You can't judge a book by its cover, though. He was definitely an otherworlder. I could see it in the faint heroic aura he emitted. It was meant to be intimidating, but it didn't work on me. Bracing myself, I retained my cool as I turned my eyes toward Masayuki. The party must have noticed me just then, slowing down and coming to a stop in front of me.
You're the Demon Lord Rimuru? Funny to see you personally greeting us at the door.
Well, Sir Masayuki is a renowned hero. Not even a demon lord could afford to ignore him.
What do you think, Masayuki? Wanna settle things right here and now?
Sheesh, that was sure friendly of them. I was glad they'd rescued those elves, but what did I do to deserve getting dissed like that? Well, gotta bottle it up. Anger right now would be ill-advised. I was trying to frame myself as a helpful, harmless demon lord, on good terms with Hinata and everything, and no way I could let that effort go to waste.
Harsh words from the hero's friends. Well, out of appreciation for you rescuing our countrymen the elves, you are free to enter and stay in this town. I could even prepare a house for you, if you want, and feel free to stay as long as you like. But just so we're clear, I'm not interested in settling anything right now, alright?
There were merchants around us. I decided to take a friendly, humble route. It didn't exactly provide the results I wanted.
Ha 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 ha. Look, the Demon Lord's afraid of you, Masayuki.
The large, semi-nude man who took the reins roared in laughter as he looked down at me.
I understand you are seeking friendship with us humans. But I'm unsure how much I can trust this. The rumors say that you're the one who schemed to topple the government of Pharmus. Perhaps you've managed to trick Hinata the Saint well enough, but don't expect to be so lucky with Masayuki here.
Talk about turning a deaf ear. They were hell-bent on making me out to be the villain, it looked like. But oddly enough, the hero himself still hadn't said a word. He had tried to, but every time, one of his companions would speak up first. To be honest, they were acting more like groupies.
The evil must be dispelled, if you ask me. Sir Masayuki, defeat this demon lord at once and bring peace to.
Guys, I'm telling you, we've already got peace. The nearby merchants were giving me confused looks, no doubt totally lost. If I didn't put my foot down, I felt like there might be repercussions. But I couldn't really stage a fight here. Before I could get too worried, however, someone tossed me a life ring.
What are you guys doing?
Yuki, in a fresh set of clothes, had already heard the commotion.
Oh, Yuki.
For the first time, Masayuki spoke up, and from the sound of it, he had been hoping for divine intervention as well. But his companions weren't having any of it.
Well, hello there, Yuki. Why's the master of the guild himself keeping tabs on a demon lord?
I'm not, Jinrai. Guys, Rimuru seriously wants us all to get along, okay? And as proof of that, I'll point out the fact that you're all still alive.
So the larger guy was named Jinrai. Yuki explained to him about how I'd fought Hinata to a draw and that I'm not a bad demon lord. It didn't convince all of them.
What do you mean by that? The way you describe it, are you implying that Masayuki is weaker than Hinata the Saint?
Don't be that harsh with him. A mere demon lord could never stop Sir Masayuki. And even the guildmaster could never be forgiven for insulting him this way.
Masayuki himself was still silent. He sure had some extreme fans.
Yeah, Yuki, like Bernie and Jiwoo said, don't treat Masayuki like a fool, alright? I dunno how strong Hinata's supposed to be, but a draw's the best she could do against this guy. In that case, it's time for the headliner to make his debut, ain't it? Masayuki could whip this demon lord easy.
The lauded hero looked like he wanted to be somewhere else right now. Maybe he didn't seek conflict with me at all, then? Yuki, realizing this himself, stepped up to assuage his friends.
Guys, calm down. Like I told you, Rimuru isn't hostile against us. There's no point fighting him.
But he's a demon lord, ain't he? Who knows when he might hatch some nefarious scheme. And with the Western Holy Church sitting on the fence, ain't it about time Masayuki shows everyone just what kinda hero he is?
No, I'm telling you.
I see. I could understand where this guy Jinrai was coming from, actually. I was a demon lord, and he didn't trust me. And sure, if you weren't familiar with me yet, maybe you'd feel the same way as Jinrai did about me. I still didn't know what the so-called hero thought of all this, but at this rate, we'd never come to terms. So I decided to accept the challenge. But...
Alright, in that case, I've got a suggestion. We're planning to hold a battle tournament at the festival starting tomorrow. If you enter it and emerge as champion, I'll gladly accept your challenge. That, and you'll be able to prove your strength to everyone there. Not a bad offer, right?
I'll take the challenge, but before that, I wanted Masayuki and his team to enter the tournament. It'd help me learn how they fought, and for that matter, it might show that I shouldn't bother with them in the first place. A pretty shrewd idea, I thought, although I wasn't sure which of them would get to fight in the arena yet. I had planned to restrict the competition to fighters ranked below A, as I was still a little anxious about the arena's structural integrity. It did just fine against magic from high-level elementals, which was specialist stuff, but hey, if it crumbled, we'd just build it again.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. Shout out to Michael, Ibushi, Salvador Lozano, Luke Devilax, Senya Mono, Jonathan Akar, Mark Gian Prospero, Rahul Subramanian, 11th YT, and last but not the least, shout out to Paul Nico Babadilla. I'll see you guys in the next video.